Let's now have a look at the Classic LAN operations with Dcnm. The concept of Classic LAN is to automate and operate the data center networks based on classic Ethernet transport running with an NexOS, right? So all Nexus series, including the Nexus 5K, 7K, and the FX, are supported here. First, you need to create a new fabric using the Classic LAN template. Then you need to add the switches into your Classic LAN domain. Either you discover the existing switches based on their reachability informations, or you can use POAP, the power on auto provisioning. For example, if the Classic LAN is built from ground up. If needed, you can initiate the VPC pairing after the import, or you can do this afterwards. You can configure the interfaces, port channels, VLAN, HSRP, SVI, or again, this action can be achieved later, so it's optional if you want. And then you save and deploy the fabric, right? Your LAN, Classic LAN fabric. So there are several reasons why you want to manage your traditional network using Dcnm. Obviously, the first thing is to deploy the network. But the other thing is you can manage, or you may want to visualize the topology for one or multiple data centers, including a mix of Classic LAN fabric with VXLAN EVPN. One key function when you centralize the operations using Dcnm is the configuration compliance process that monitors continuously. If any configuration has changed on any device, you are assured that no one has used the console port of a switch to add or revoke a configuration somewhere without being notified, right? You can use Dcnm to take a full backup on demand and save it, mark it as a golden backup, or you can schedule regular backups. You know that at any time you can restore referenced configurations to a single device or to all switches of that belongs to one fabric. You may want to monitor the network performances or to visualize the health of any devices, network or compute in real time. You can visualize the physical host and the virtual machines, including the containers. And finally, all the operation tasks and access are given to different end user roles for a fine control based on the profiles and responsibilities of each user. One of the options you have is the representation of your data center networks in the topology view. You may have one single data center network view by selecting the scope of interest, or you may group multiple Classic LAN fabrics together to visualize multiple data center networks in a single view. For this demo, we will create a new fabric to import an existing Classic LAN, and we will attach it to an existing VXLAN EVPN fabric. This is the current data center topology with VXLAN EVPN fabric 2, and a pair of border gateways that represents the fabric 1. The goal is to attach the Classic LAN into an existing data center using the solution of multi-site initiated in the fabric 1. First step is to create a new fabric to import the Classic LAN. You need to select the fabric template LAN Classic and give a name. By default, the LAN fabric settings comes in monitor mode only. You need to uncheck these options if you want to manage this fabric. And like other fabrics, you can configure POAP or the backup settings if you wish. That's it. You can save. Your Classic LAN fabric is ready. Same as for the Easy Fabric template, you can POAP or you can select the seed units with the credentials and the maximum number of hops if you decide to import reachable switches. Select the reachable switches and import them into the fabric. The Classic LAN appears now in gray, as there is no yet any configuration saved. However, the aggregation layer has already the connectivity toward the Fabric 1 as shown here. You can configure the VPC pairing for the access or for the aggregation layer. As you can see here, the VPC pairing is made in one click. And to allow further automations, you need to change the role to the access switch to access role, and the role of the aggregation switch to top of rack. The reason for top of rack rule is for Dcnm to automate the deployment of the networks from the VXLAN EVPN Fabric Multi-site down to the aggregation layer port channels interfaces inside the Classic LAN. You can create from here the virtual port channels interfaces. The first VPC is used to dual attach the servers to the access switches, interface E1/36. Assuming the VLAN 2100 and 2101 are the user VLAN that you want to carry across the vStrunk, you can add the VLAN 2100 and 2101 directly in vStrunk. You can preview the configuration and close it. You will deploy it later because you need to configure the VPC toward the aggregation layer with the VPC 110. You may need to disable the BPDO guard to prevent blocking the link, and port type fast in this topology is useless as it is connecting another switch. You add the VLAN 2100 and 2101, and the next step is to create the virtual port channel from the aggregation layer toward the access layer with the same domain ID 110. This is similar to the preview VPC. Now we can deploy the VPC port channels. The Classic LAN is deployed, and if you change the scope of your topology to data center, you will notice that it is now attached to the Fabric 1, showing you an end-to-end topology with the LAN Classic and the VXLAN EVPN fabric. Before looking at networks and VRF automations, the next sections cover the interface group. Thank you for watching.